So this is very strange. Abrego Garcia released? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't have any confirmation of his status. The only thing I know is what you see here. The senator that went to see him or try to do something somehow was able to eventually get to see him. He was blocked before, and then he later was able to see him. But I did some digging into this prison that he was supposedly in. And based on what I learned about that prison, which is pretty hardcore, this photo requires explanation. Where is this? I don't think there's anywhere at that prison that looks like this. They have a gym in there for the guards, but I think that's probably one of the nicest areas they have. Other than that, it's a prison. It's a straight up prison. I mean, this looks like a restaurant, and there's nothing surrounding it. So, I mean, would they have blocked the senator from seeing this guy and then allow him to leave? Because here's the thing. As I said, I did some research into the prison, and they don't let you out, right? The prisoners are in their cells like all day long. I think they give them 30 minutes a day to go to like a gym or something, but they never go on the outside of there's no like working in the yard or whatever. They're kept indoors. The lights are on all the time. I mean, based on everything I've seen, the idea of this highly restrictive prison, of them allowing you to leave, I mean, we wouldn't even do that in America. Like, look at him. He's wearing plain clothes. Was he released? I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. I'm getting this from this propaganda channel, Midas Touch. So, they don't really care to dig in and give us some more information. All they're doing is showing, oh, look, there he is. He's alive. I mean, that's good to know. But, as far as journalism, again, in the context of this prison, like this requires an explanation. Like, what are we looking at here? Why is he in plain clothes? Where are they? Like, what happened? How did this get arranged? They were blocked before, and now all of a sudden, now he can see him, and he's got his clothes on. Like, 'cause again, in a United States prison, I mean, I don't know how they do that stuff, but I believe you can meet with your attorney. There's a room that you can meet with your attorney. I don't think they allow you to put on your civilian clothes. As far as I know, in American prisons, you put on your civilian clothes when you're leaving, or you can dress up for like a court. I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that in America you're ever in your civilian clothes in prison like this, except with those exceptions. You're leaving or court case. Meeting with an attorney is in your prison outfit inside the prison. So I mean, just based on that, based on how restricted they are, I would logically want to think that they let him out. I mean, actually let him free. But I don't see the headline saying that. Here's some other photos. Now it's interior. Look at the place. Look at the floors. That's not the prison. It's like a marble. Is he free? That's the only thing I could think of. They freed him. Marble floors. Look at the paintings. This is not the prison. The guy in the president actually made fun of him and saying that mocking people, saying it's death camps or something. And then you got this stupid, bitch ass parasite right wing, Twitter account putting gang signals. This is it's just children. MAGA is just nothing but children, right? Like who does this? Who does this? Even if, you're on the other side, these are your political opponents, you don't like Democrats. I don't like Democrats. In the context of what's happening, in the context of the seriousness of that prison, right? I hate these illegal immigrants, get them out of the country, and they're criminal immigrants. You could believe all that. That should never get you to this place where you're put, like, what? They got people in that prison for life. That's not a joke. Like, that's not something to joke around with. I guarantee you there's many people in there who don't belong in there that are innocent. Forget about America and deportation. I'm talking about in their own country. People that they scooped up in their own country, that mistaken identity, whatever it is, corruption, that are in there that may be for life are going to die in there, right? And the context of which this prison was built in the first place. I mean, I think the last day that they had, the big day, 80 something people died in one weekend. 80 something people died because of the gang violence between MS-13 and the other Barrio 18 or whatever. Right? This is very, very serious stuff over there. Goofing around and putting gang tattoos on this guy's face. I mean, this would only be funny to children. And that's what MAGA is. MAGA is a movement of children. If you're MAGA, you're a child. So something like this, you find us funny. You know, when you're a child, you don't have a sense of responsibility and the seriousness of things. Everything's a big joke, right? Ha ha ha. Right? Your parents are trying to tell you, you got to start taking things serious. You got to start taking life seriously. But you're a child. That is MAGA. MAGA is a movement for children. So here is the president of the country making fun of it. Kilmar Abrego Garcia miraculously risen from the death camps and torture, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in tropical paradise of El Salvador. That's the president, right? This guy's MAGA, a child. That is such a childish... I mean, first of all, you are El Salvadorian. You're president of a different country, right? You're getting a lot of money from America. I think you should, you know, they talk about show some respect. I think you should show some respect for representatives of America, right? I mean, it's one thing if the senator was attacking him or something and he's defending himself or whatever, but for you to just go and just, like, who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are making fun of American representatives? And making, well, that's your country, that's your people. So I was going to say making light of the whole torture and whatever. I mean, that's how you want to get down with your people. You know, you do you, boo. But I don't think you should be making fun of representatives of America when we're sending you millions of dollars of our tax dollars. Let's see if we can get some real information from actual journalists instead of this propaganda Midas touch. Let's see what.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland has apparently met with Abrego Garcia. We want to go now to Catherine Falders, who's been digging into this. Catherine, what have you learned?
Okay, starts off good, did some digging, because digging is required. Like, what happened? What are we looking at? Let's see what actual journalists, to see how they did.
Hey, so there's a lot of details that we still are working to confirm here, but we know that Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, of course, traveled down to El Salvador with the intention of meeting with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. We know what Chris Van Hollen said earlier today, that he was turned away from that El Salvador prison when he tried to visit him. But photos have just surfaced on social media that show Van Hollen meeting with him. Now, these photos were posted by Chris Van Hollen. He showed that he appeared to be sitting down for a meal with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That's essentially all he said, that he had the privilege of meeting with him. He said tonight he had the chance to meet with him. He's called his wife, Jennifer, to pass along his messages of love. That's according to Chris Van Hollen. He says that he looks forward to providing a full update upon his return to the United States, given that he was able to sit down with him. They're still on.
Is this AI? This doesn't make any sense. And you guys can look into this prison. Go look. There's some documentaries about this prison. Go look into the prison. Like, consider, I think we can all agree that the standards there are more harsh than our prison. When would you see a situation like this, where this guy's in plain clothes like that? You wouldn't see it here, so why would you see it in this prison? It's a prison for terrorists. There are people that are going to be there. It's maximum security. They're going to be there for life. They let him out to go eat dinner, and I'm not complaining. It's just that that doesn't make any sense that they would do that. I have no reason to believe that they would ever do something like this. So I'm looking at a photo and I'm just like, AI? Like, what are we looking at? They wouldn't even let this guy go to the prison. Next thing you know, oh, you guys can go have dinner. Like, what? And even the news, at least they tried. Like, Midas Touch was just like, oh, you met with him. But at least ABC's like, we try to dig in and things don't make any sense. We gotta, wow.
A lot of unanswered questions here. We know that he was deported wrongfully in an administrative error. The United States admits to that mega prison in El Salvador, and we know that is where he has been. There's again, a lot of questions to be answered here. Where is he right now? The government has been required to provide updates on that to a district judge. Will they say something on this tomorrow? We know that the president of El Salvador has appeared to suggest that he is now in the custody still of El Salvador. But again, where is that? Where is he physically? He's in their custody. Is he back in that prison? Still a lot of unanswered questions here. But what we do know is that Van Hollen was able to sit down with him face to face, it appears, over a meal today in El Salvador. Again, the senator says he'll provide updates when he gets back to the United States, which I assume will be in the coming hours. So we will likely learn more then.
And Catherine, as you know, Garcia was sent there to El Salvador, to that notorious.
Okay, guys, I don't know what's going on, man. I haven't had anything to drink today. I'm not high. Can you guys comment below and let me know what you think? I mean, even not knowing what I know about that prison, I think you know enough about the prison to know that this is strange as hell. This is just bizarro, right? I mean, the best case scenario would be that they let him free. But if that were the case, we would know it already. That would be a big story. Like, what is going on? And then they're not saying anything. They're just like, oh, we're gonna get back. Like, is this senator gonna come up missing? Is that what's gonna happen? They're gonna come up missing, and the last thing we know is there's a photo and a big mystery, and then maybe at some point in time in the future we find out that this was AI and it was a setup. Like, I hate to get conspiratorial, but help me out, man. I'm at a loss. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what we're looking at. I don't know what these photos are, where this guy is. I don't know what's going on, man. This is simulation. That's what I got. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate Me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.